It is that time for my response to a tweet. And today's tweet says, I watched the debate last night. Let me guess, Phil. Ben Carson was the winner and Trump was the loser. I tell you, you gotta love him. It says, let me guess, Phil. Ben Carson was the winner and Trump was the loser. Whew. Like I said, you gotta love him. But here's my response to this tweet. Yeah, I watched the debate last night too. And yes, I was tweeting out during the debate. And the only question I'm ending up with is, where is the love? Where is the love for America? See, here's the deal. You know, on my show, I'm always talking about principle over personality. I seen a love fest over personalities on the stage. Nothing those people can say can do anything for us for 13 months. You guys heard me say that. And then the reality of the office is going to set in on day one when they realize that they can't do anything that they're saying unless they go through a whole bunch of stuff that already has Washington dysfunctional. They don't get to come in, you know, like a businessman like Donald Trump. He doesn't get to come into the Corporation of America and fire all the people who's making it not work right. He doesn't get to himself single-handedly. He doesn't get to fire the Congress and the Senate. And then input more people that's going to make this thing work. He doesn't get to do that. None of them do. But here's the thing. What do you think is going to be more effective? Somebody that can make you feel good, or somebody that can do what they say? Everybody, speaking on national security, probably made you feel good. If you like that person, they made you feel good with their answers. If you're a fair-minded person, you would probably say, my candidate could have did better, and, you know, I can understand why people look at my candidate that way, and that was pretty strong, but he could be better, and things like this. You could do all those things if you're really fair-minded. But once again, looking at all the tweets and all the things and all the pundits talking today, or the day after the debate, here's where I believe the biggest winner was last night. The biggest winner was the federal government. Government won last night. Big government, huge, enormous, gigantic, Jurassic Park-like government won last night. And the biggest loser was we the people. See, if you take any of the candidates, how much more government do you think it's going to take for them to pull off the security that made you feel good in their answer? I didn't see government shrinking not one bit. And as a conservative, that bothers me. I did not see government shrink one bit. I seen Marco Rubio get in a tiff with Rand Paul. And all they talked about was what? This bill, that bill, this bill, that bill. Brought Ted Cruz into it. This bill, Ted Cruz responds, this bill, this. Guess what? Every time you hear somebody talk about a bill, guess what? You're talking about government. I didn't see government shrink. I did not see it get smaller, not one bit. It won. Anybody that likes big government, they won last night. Because what is it going to take? What is it going to cost for Donald Trump to pull off what he said? What is it going to cost for Ben Carson to pull off what he said? Carly Fiorina, how much is it going to cost? And more so, who is it going to cost? I was watching 9 candidates, and even the ones at the kiddie table, slapping the dog stank out of the middle class. The American people was the biggest loser last night. Because you guys, everybody's caught up on a personality that needs to save us possibly 13 months from now with a dysfunctional government right now. Big government was the winner last night. Because nobody looked at how much it's going to cost. Our freedoms lost last night. Everybody was cheerleading and advocating for us to lose our freedoms for our favorite candidate to pull off this pipe dream that they were selling us last night. I thought we were conservatives and Republicans and we needed to shrink government. Yes, it's going to cost us to fix what the liberals have wrecked, but let me show you something, guys. You guys ready for this? Watch this. Let me show you how we can accomplish everything that we were hoping our favorite candidate did without growing government. Matter of fact, we'll shrink government. The middle class will not get taxed. Matter of fact, we will save so much money if you implement my plan. If the American people can start coming together, stop being all separated by these personalities on the stage, and we the people started becoming more lovely with our neighbors and things like this, we can almost practically wipe out everything that ails the United States of America. The things that's terrorizing us financially, the things that's terrorizing us from overseas, and our own homegrown terrorists through our gangs and our pimps and our drug dealers and even ISIS on our home soil. If we, the people, start coming together. Let me show you how this works. It's cheaper for us to buy our own guns and our own ammo and come up with a plan in our houses, in our communities, in our cities, our subdivisions, and come up with a plan. It's far cheaper to do that versus hiring one of these guys in Washington that's going to have to hire 60,000 people or another 600,000 people to pull off what they're talking about, growing government. We buy firearms and weapons and we buy food rations and all these kind of things more so. And then we let the terrorists know that the American people is prepared for you. The American people, 320 million of us united. And then we also let the drug dealers and the gangbangers and all them people know the American people is not standing for your foolishness no more. When we see something, we're going to say something to each other. And then we will let one of these candidates make sure that we'll be able to do this. Because once we start doing this, then the liberals are going to probably start going buck crazy. And they're going to try to circumvent the Constitution or try to shut down the Constitution. And that's what we'll hire whatever one of our candidates to do. Just watch the Constitution, bro. That's all. We don't need 60 billion people in America on the federal government employee list to watch our Constitution. We don't need all that. And so now the American people are stuck together. We got battle plans. We got food feeding plans. We got our faith. We got everything as the American people. Government automatically shrunk. The American people still going to work. Guess what? That we make sure that we get rid of the tax code and all this kind of stuff. Why? Because we don't need the IRS. All we need to do is go to work and we can do this, shrink our stuff down to a postcard like they've always saying, 999 or whatever. And then the American people pay their taxes. Things are in there. Guess what? The budget has shrunk. Why? Because you don't have all these politicians that you have to pay to pull off everything that them people was talking about on the stage last night. So now we're saving money. And we can take that money that we're saving and we can put it into our military that's going to back us up. And so now the terrorists and the gangbangers and everybody knows that the American people ain't taking your crap no more. We're not just rolling over. Our Constitution is paramount. We don't need nobody to keep anybody from coming in. We don't need somebody to kick everybody that's in out. The American people will take care of it. Because once the American people don't stand for this foolishness no more, they'll leave. They'll leave on their own. And then Muslims or the ISIS, radical Islamic terrorists, they're going to go like this. They'll pick someplace else to go. They won't want to come here. We won't have to have somebody that's going to spend all the taxpayer dollars trying to keep people from coming in to where whatever that creates. We don't need it. The American people will take care of it. It's our constitutional ability to do that. We, the people. And the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the rule of law protects we, the people, as we take care of ourselves. Government shrinks. The budget shrinks. Gross domestic product goes through the roof. Why? Because the middle class people are working. They're going to work. Everybody's watching their backs. Everybody's cool. Everybody's taking care of each other. We don't need big government to do it. We don't need to look at a personality to tell us that they're going to protect us 13 months or 2 years out. See, they're constantly running for office, always trying to tell us that they were doing something that they really wasn't doing and things of this nature. That stuff is irrelevant to the American people anymore. Now the person is running for what? I will be the one to protect your constitutional rights for you to keep doing what you're already doing. And you don't have to pay somebody. Matter of fact, if that's all they would do, it's worth their paycheck. We don't need them to make any more laws. We just need to have them protect the ones we already have on the books. We don't need them to pass any more bills. We don't need to spend a whole 3-hour debate watching Marco Rubio's show his weenie is longer than Ted Cruz's, and Ted Cruz's weenie was the one that was over here acting like a weenie. We don't need all of that. We don't need all of that. We, the American people, can handle it. And then that person is running for office. They're going to have to run on, I am the one to best protect the people that want to stop you from doing what you're already doing to protect America. Government shrinks, crime shrinks, we the people get stronger, get better, education gets better, everything is better, our faith gets stronger and better, but more so, we don't have to say, where's the love for each other? Because we're better. Hey, big government was the winner, the American people was the loser. And I'm Phil Williams, and that's my response to a tweet on The Phil Williams Show.